Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill Nye the Science Guy.
My name is Jose, science guy. I'm filling in for Bill Nye because he fractured his humerus, which is this. I took it out from his body. You know, he couldn't make it today, so I'm here. And this is my helper, Elmer.
Today we are talking about the skeletal system.
These are the joints right here. And bones provide our body with shape and structure and protects our vital organs. And you see the ribs protect our lungs and hearts. The joints are where the two bones meet, as they find their movements. The ligaments connect the bones to other bones, provide stability, and tendons connect bones with muscles, which is how we move.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight. Spooky, scary skeletons speak with such a screech. You'll shake and shudder in surprise when you hear these zombies shriek.
So what is the bone marrow? Where is it located? It's right here, inside your bones. Now, the bone marrow is responsible for making the red blood cells. The bone marrow produces over 500 million red blood cells a day. Think about that.
Now this is a really simple experiment. All you're going to need is a jar, a chicken bone, and some vinegar. Make sure that you've left the bone to dry for a couple of days after you've eaten your delicious chicken. All you need to do is put the bone into the jar and fill the jar with vinegar. Make sure that the bone is completely covered with vinegar. Then carefully screw the lid on top of the jar and set it aside. You'll see that if you try and bend the bone in your hand, it does so really easily. This is because the vinegar has over time dissolved calcium that was in the bone. Calcium is a compound which makes your bones really strong. You can find calcium in things like milk and cheese.
When we are born, we have over 270 bones. As adults, we have 206.
Hey guys, my name is Professor Alvarez. I'm going to talk about bone fractures. There are two types of bone fractures. They are closed and simple fractures. Closed fractures are when the bone breaks but there is no open wound in the skin, and simple fractures is when the fracture is incomplete and the bone is just bent. Your bones heal naturally. At the location of the fracture, your bones will produce lots of new cells and tiny blood vessels that rebuild the bone. These cells cover both ends of the broken part of the bone and close up the break until it's good as new.
Aside from bones, our skeletal system also includes cartilage. Cartilage is connective tissue found in forms of larynx, such as the ear, nose, parts of the ribs, and the vertebrae.
There are 5 types of joints. There are pivot joints. There's one here in the neck, gliding joints in the wrist, hinge joints in the elbow, saddle joint also in the wrist, and a ball socket joint in the hip.
Consider the following. Have you ever wondered what is the difference between a male and female skeleton? It's all about the hips.
It's all in the hip. Hey, it's all in. Come on, work with me now. It's all in the hips. Yeah, it's all in the hips.
Well, actually, the pelvis bone, in which the female's pelvis bone is shaped like a cup, so that she can support the baby. For men, their pelvis bone is flatter because they don't bear the kids. Now, thank you for considering the following. Guys, for our last segment, we're going to be talking about bone cancer, which is a malignant tumor of the bone that destroys more bone tissue. Now, bone cancer is a rare cancer which accounts for 1% of all cancers. Here in the United States, we only get 1,300 new cases here. And it is curable. You can go for surgery to get the tumors out, radiation, and chemotherapy. Now guys, it's that time again to end the show. Thank you all for coming. And see you next time on the next episode next week.